Hello friends, and not yet friends, welcome back to Mary's Test Kitchen, where it's time for pita. Thanks to your request, we're making wonderfully delicious, plant-based, high-protein, high-fiber, and keto-friendly pita that will change your life, or lunch. And it all starts with being picky about ingredients. First, use only the finest high-quality city tap water, or basically any drinking water, but measure it correctly. Even more important, though, is the temperature. This is the perfect steamy bath water temperature to relax your aching muscles. However, it's way too hot for this recipe, so we'll let it cool. In the meantime, I'll measure out and grind up this golden flaxseed. When the water is more like a baby's bath water temperature, warm up your stand mixer bowl, add the water, some sugar, which I know some of you are going to be alarmed by, but don't be. Our next ingredient will eat it up, turning the sugar into carbon dioxide to stretch the dough from the inside. You can see this activity as I let it bloom for a few minutes, just to show the yeast is active and it's safe to continue with the dry ingredients. I'm actually using the exact same dough formula as my keto loaf bread and my keto sandwich rolls, which, by the way, I tested with a CGM recently and they do not spike blood sugar whatsoever. Well, I've added a couple additional ingredients for flavor. What changes this regular bread dough into pita comes from what we do with the dough after it's kneaded. Divide this into 8. You can be precise like I have this annoying compulsion to be, or not. There are no rules, except let these balls rest, coated lightly with some olive oil for a purpose yet to be revealed, and cover for 30 minutes so the gluten can relax. And so can you. And so can I.
Living a healthy lifestyle in this day and age requires effort, and you and I deserve to take it easy. Luckily, today's video sponsor makes it easy to set yourself up for nutritional success. Those who know already know, it's AG1. It's been my go-to. Every single day I take 1 scoop into water. Lately, I've been adding a little lemon for extra brightness. I'm liking that addition to the tropical flavor this naturally has. And after I have it, I feel refreshed and set up for the day. This third-party tested, NSF certified formula is designed to solve 2 of our health needs. One being nutritionally, it contains a wide array of vitamins and minerals, including magnesium, calcium, folate, B12, all the really important things that we may not be able to get in our everyday diet, life being how it is, but it doesn't contain any of the things that we don't need, such as sugar, fillers, preservatives, artificial colors, flavors, anything like that. You could say that they're just as picky about their ingredients as I am. Second, it's designed to lay the foundation for long-term gut health with its dairy-free probiotics and prebiotics, as well as digestive enzymes to help with absorption and whole food source superfood. It all works together to fuel whole body health, and this affects everything from your sleep, digestion, immunity, your energy levels, even impacting the health of your hair, skin, and nails. I have never been a huge supplement person, except for taking B12. I try to take that every day. I didn't really succeed, but ever since starting with this, it has been a lot easier. 1, because it tastes good. 2, because I actually feel a huge difference. For me, within the first few weeks, I was experiencing less inflammation. My chronic tendinitis pain was greatly reduced, and for me, that was huge. Nothing helped like this did. And I strongly suspect it has to do with, just filling some nutritional gaps that I had, even though I was trying my best. And other things that I didn't really feel was a problem improved as well. My gut health became more pristine, if you know what I mean. My baseline energy was up, my focus, my ability just to get things done improved. Now here I am over a year later taking AG1 every day, and I feel there is no need to ever go back to the way things were. If you want to improve the way things are, make sure that you click the link that's up there or use the one in the description. They gave me a special link. If you use it for your first purchase, you will get 5 free travel packs to take along with you on the go, work, school, vacation, wherever. These are designed so that you don't have to refrigerate them, so you can take them anywhere with you. I took them on a trip to Vancouver, I guess it has been a while. But you'll also get a free year's worth of vitamin D3 and K2 in this convenient dropper. You just need like one drop. Sometimes I take 2, and everyone knows how important it is to take vitamin D3, right? It's super important for your immune system, and it's also in a olive oil formula, again, for best absorption. For best results, make sure you do click that link down in the description now or up in the cards. Just check it out, go through, take your time. Don't worry, I'll still be here when you're done checking out. And 90 minutes later, by now the sugar should have been exhausted. The yeast should have eaten basically all of it, and you're not going to have that sugar left over in the dough to spike your glucose. We don't really care about the size for the pita dough balls. We're really just looking for the gluten to relax. So if you weren't concerned about exhausting the sugar, you don't have to wait 90 minutes. 30 minutes will probably do the trick for you. Either way, we're rolling these flat.
The oil was to prevent sticking. And it looks like we'll need some for our rolling pin as well. This pita does best when you roll it quite thin, like this. I'm not going to eat all 8 this week, so for half of the dough, I'm just going to put them in the fridge where they're going to be okay for a few days to a week. Now for the cooking, there's no need for an oven, just a pan. I preheat mine for a few minutes at least over medium heat. I'm going to stretch the uncooked pita just a little because I want it to be thinner and have this rustic shape before I place it directly in the pan. There's also no need for oil because this is non-stick, but I will cover it to keep the moisture inside. I don't want it to get too brown on the outside before the inside gets cooked. 2 minutes later, I flip. If you've made pita before or my classic vegan naan, you can notice there's actually no bubble in the middle, so you might be wondering, will this pita actually pocket? You'll find out, don't worry, hang tight. 2 minutes on that side, and our first high-protein, low-carb pita bread is ready. You should wrap it in a towel to keep the steam in. But I just couldn't resist showing you the texture. And having a little taste for myself. Delicious. The pan's still hot though, so we can immediately go to the next. I want to show you how this bread changes simply from making minor adjustments. I'll cook this one for 3 minutes per side so you can see the difference. We see a little more color, and I'll show you the inside and all that afterwards. First, I want to go on to the next. This one, I'm going to bump up the heat a little bit, and I'm not going to add the cover at first. I can see this browning, but also not cooking all the way through, so I am going to add the cover. Another one down. Now to the last. We're going back to 2 minutes per side. You can see the pan is hotter than before. Just like when you're cooking pancakes, this is something to look out for and adjust as you go. Also keep in mind your pan material and the strength of your stove. All these things make a difference and you're going to want to make minor adjustments. We should let all of these cool to room temperature to give the pita a fair test. But I'm hungry, so let's see if this first pita will pocket. It's still warm, and it's not a very willing pocket to be sure. It takes persuasion. However, it cannot resist being filled with creamy avocado, my super soft roasted garlic, Fresh cherry tomatoes, okay, they're a little bit like wrinkly on the outside because I really need to eat them. And fresh cilantro. And I almost forgot these sprouts. They're homegrown from lentils and chickpeas. A bit overgrown, to be honest. We find ourselves at the moment of truth. It's a moment of a darn good sandwich. The taste, and the texture. My friends, you would not be able to tell this was a high-protein, high-fiber, keto-friendly pita if you did not just see me make it before your very eyes. By the way, if you're curious, I'll have the cost and nutrition information linked in the blog post, where we'll have the printable recipe as well. But you have seen this keto bread loaf recipe from a couple weeks ago, and it's actually going to have the same breakdown since it's the same dough recipe. What makes it pita is in how we cooked them, bringing me back to these remaining pita bread that were made just a little bit differently from each other. This is the one we cooked for 3 minutes per side. This is the one we cooked uncovered for the first half with a higher heat. And this is the last one we cooked where the pan was a bit hotter than at the beginning. It's stiffer, not as flexible as the first, and it feels drier than the others. One side is almost burnt, but will it pocket? It's possible, but it's a delicate operation. Too bad, because I'm not a very delicate kind of gal. Splitting the other half with a knife is much easier. And it looks pretty good too, right? But the taste? Well, I have to admit it's a little dry. It reminds me of most mass-marketed pita breads from the supermarket, how they're kind of dry and not so good, unless you add a spread and warm them a bit. Overall, I don't hate it, but it could be better. This is the one we turned the heat up on and cooked partway without the lid. So it's much darker on the outside, but I don't know if you can really tell, the inside is kind of gummy, and it doesn't seem all the way cooked. Tastes that way too. Finally, this is the one we cooked for 3 minutes per side, medium heat and covered. This seems like the ideal situation. It's sturdy but flexible, it pockets more easily, and it has that toasty flavor without being overly dried out. So for you at home, I would take these cooking directions as more of a guideline and make minor adjustments yourself. And soon, you shall have the power of the perfect vegan keto pita. Don't forget, you also have the power of 2 free gifts when you use my link to get started on AG1. Thanks again to Athletic Greens for making this video possible. And of course, everyone who's just watching, commenting, and adding this channel to your subscriptions list, thank you so very much. Feel free to leave your requests with the hashtag recipe request in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.